Coming up here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports, we had the latest injury update on Kristaps Porzingis. I know what you guys are thinking. It feels like there's an update every single day. Well, believe it or not, there is, because we are now 1 week away from the NBA Finals. On everybody's forefront, it is whether or not Kristaps Porzingis is going to play in the NBA Finals. Well, why don't I just start this off by asking you guys how you feel, how confident you feel in KP playing for the NBA Finals. Give me your confidence level. 1 as in, heck no, he's done. Rule him out for the rest of the season. 10 being like, he's definitely ready. They're just holding him out. He's definitely going to play. Rate that on a scale 1 through 10. Your confidence level for Kristaps Porzingis' return to the NBA Finals. All right. While you guys are thinking about how confident you are, let's hear from the man himself, Joe Mazzulla, what he had to say to media ahead of today's practices. I haven't seen him doing what he's doing specifically, but he's progressing well, and he's working really hard to get back. Joe is the king of I don't know. And I have a feeling he knows. Because every time you ask Joe, hey, what's the latest on Kristaps Porzingis? I don't know. I just don't know how much I believe that, to be honest. And I get it. It's your coach. You got to protect your players. He has no obligation to actually tell us how Kristaps Porzingis is doing in his injury recovery. That's going to be left up to game time decisions and whether or not KP will be in a uniform and ready to play for the NBA Finals. The one thing that has remained completely consistent since KP got injured to now is that KP said, I want to have a record-breaking recovery. He wants to return as soon as possible. That's what Joe has reiterated time and time again. And the good news is, Porzingis is not the only Boston Celtic that is benefiting from this time off, as they did have 9 days in between the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. You got to think of other players here too, man. You got to look at Al Horford. What he has done stepping up while KP has been injured has been huge. And now you're about to get Al Horford, regardless of KP playing or not in Game 1, you're going to get 9 days of rest Al Horford. We saw him in Game 5 against the Cavaliers have one of the best games I've seen in this postseason. Imagine what he can do with 9 days of rest. If Porzingis can't play, Horford is still performing well in the playoffs. But can he do it for one more series? And I'm not comparing the two at all. They're different ages, they're different players. But Al Horford has done a pretty good job of holding down the paint and protecting the rim and scoring around the rim while KP has been out. Of course, he has also adopted that three-point shooting, that three-point scoring, but they are still missing Kristaps Porzingis, and I'm wondering if Al Horford can hold on just a little bit more. Cancun is almost there, buddy, but can you play for one more series? Let's say the Celtics play the Mavericks, right? I'm worried. I'm not going to lie. I'm worried to play the Mavericks without Kristaps Porzingis. I love Big Al. I think he can do the job, but he's not what Kristaps Porzingis is. If you are playing the Dallas Mavericks without Kristaps Porzingis, my biggest concern is rim protection. They've got big boys on that team, and they've got really good playmakers as well. You saw Evan Mobley and Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam and Nembhard dominate around the paint, in the paint, especially around the rim, and it makes me really nervous, especially when you have playmakers like Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving who are Lob City to Daniel Gafford and Lively. The only thing about Lively, though, is that he has not returned yet from his neck injury, so I put an asterisk there because I'm not sure if the Celtics will even see Lively because obviously head injuries are very, very intense. But the Mavericks have several resources here, and with two playmakers like Luka and Kyrie, it's going to be very tough to not have 7'3" standing in their way trying to make something happen. Because they did sweep the Mavericks in the regular season, but they did have Kristaps Porzingis. And you also got to think about how the Celtics did against bigger players here in their journey to the NBA Finals. There were numerous times Derek White got switched on to the big guy, and Derek White is a phenomenal defender. He was second-team all-defensive NBA, and he leads the league in blocks for players under 6'4". That's not the worst defender to have, but it's a mismatch, man. And that can happen several times because we saw Al Horford trying to guard Darius Garland, and we saw Derek White trying to guard Evan Mobley. And there were too many switches going on that I'm afraid are going to happen time and time again, especially with a coach like Jason Kidd is going to try to capitalize on mismatches without Kristaps Porzingis. So, are you worried about Boston in the finals without Porzingis? Because that was just the Mavericks matchup. because mentally I am prepared to face the Mavericks. But with Game 5 right now happening later today, the Minnesota Timberwolves also have several resources, big men down low, a.k.a. Rudy Gobert, that is going to be a nightmare trying to get through without KP. Comment why or why not you're worried about KP in the finals with or without him. Next, we're going to talk about Joe Mazzulla, who's speaking out about how the Celtics are preparing to take on either the Mavericks or the Timberwolves as well, with or without Kristaps Porzingis. But first things first, let me tell you about PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. I'm playing this every single game day, and there are several reasons why you guys should as well. Not only is it extremely easy to use, but it's also super fun as well. I used to never put down money on games. I never really liked it. It wasn't my thing. But then I did find PrizePicks, and my life has been forever changed for the better. I have won over 15 entries. I have won over $500 as well. So if you guys want to go on ahead and play PrizePicks with me, there is great benefits for you here ahead. Here's what WNBA picks I have for today, because PrizePicks actually gave me a fantastic promotion. And here's a $20 protected play for the WNBA. Win or my money back. I have Aguma K having more than 19.5 points, Cameron Brink having more than 6.5 boards, and Caitlin Clark, the legend, having more than 3 3-pointers made. You guys can go on ahead and turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. And plus, the finals means more on PrizePicks, and so do star players. You get boosted payouts when you select basketball stars that you won't find anywhere else. And when the finals are over, the hoops action doesn't stop. WNBA is just now getting started, and with all these stars you guys see on my page right now, you could win up to 100 times your money watching them ball out. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It is truly that easy to watch yourself win some real money in real time. 1 week until the NBA Finals. Wow, oh wow, does it feel like a lifetime away. On this day next week, they will be gearing up to face either the Mavericks or the Timberwolves in the first game of the Finals in Boston. And because we don't know who we're playing just yet, Joe Mazzulla is ready nonetheless. Here is what he said about the Celtics having to wait to play in the NBA Finals, because they now have the longest vacation ahead of the championship. So Joe Mazzulla said anything can be good or bad for you, depending on how you use it. Time could be good. It could be bad. Everything goes into how you use it, how you weaponize it. So we're weaponizing our team right now, and that's it. Between now and June 6th, we had to take every experience that we've been through and make sure we take advantage of it, and that we utilize it and put ourselves in the best position to win. I get what he's saying about it could be good, it could be bad. You could have mental barriers, you could have mental blocks waiting for the NBA Finals. I know my anxiety would be through the roof if I knew the NBA Finals was 1 week away. However, these guys are professionals, and they've also had long breaks before, especially in this postseason. They've had 2 separate 6-day breaks in between series in the postseason this year. So they're pretty used to it. And I'm sure they're actually really enjoying it now, because I'm sure their bodies were tore up after playing big teams like the Cavs and the Pacers. So now they get the time to rehab their bodies, get ready mentally. And with a coach like Joe Mazzulla, he is preparing them for both teams right now and making sure they're in the best shape as possible. The tricky part of having so much time is not knowing who you're playing yet. I really thought the Mavericks were going to sweep the Timberwolves in Game 4, and the Celtics would have 8 full days to prepare for the Dallas Mavericks. That'd be beautiful. But now you really cannot push off the Timberwolves and start preparing overload to take on the Mavericks depth chart and not even think about Anthony Edwards, Cat, and Rudy Gobert. You have to think ahead as well. So Joe Mazzulla, here's how he's preparing for either team here for the NBA Finals. He said, I'll watch a little bit live, looking for some themes and concepts that I notice. Practice is all about the details and the margins, making sure we get better as a team. Regardless of who wins, we've got to get better. So we're going to do that tomorrow, getting better every single day until June 6th. And I really hope all of these Celtics players have turned off their social media. Because is it just me, or is the entire world against the Celtics winning the finals? Maybe I'm being dramatic, but I really do hope that mentally and physically they are ready to go. And it sounds like Joe Mazzulla is first working on the Celtics, making sure they have everything they need to take on whoever in the NBA Finals. Second, then he'll do his research on either the Mavericks or the Timberwolves and adjust accordingly. But the big question is, can the Mavericks win tonight? If the Mavericks win tonight, series is over. Do you think the Mavs will close out the Western Conference Series in Game 5 tonight? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know if you think Luka and Kyrie can get the job done tonight and be done. With the Timberwolves, do you think Anthony Edwards has a little bit up his sleeve in Minnesota here for that team? Go on ahead, comment that down below, and let me know what you guys think. And as always, hit that sub button for me. We will be live for the NBA Finals. I want you guys to be here as well. Hit that sub button for me. I promise you guys will not regret it.